You're tuned into Forest 111.9, your trusted source for breaking news. As you may have heard, a couple of days ago, an incident of police brutality took place, resulting in the loss of a precious life. While we don't have all the details about the victim at this time, what we do know is that a tragic event has occurred, leaving a void in the lives of those who love them. In response to this deeply troubling incident today, the Forest Lake Police Department has taken action. 3 officers directly involved in the incident have been let go from their positions. The decision to terminate their employment reflects the gravity of the situation and sends a clear message that such behavior will not be tolerated. However, it's important to note that the legal process is still underway and charges have yet to be filed against the officers. Joining us now on the line is Grace Winston from Farshore. Grace, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Brad. I appreciate the opportunity to speak out about what's been happening.
The floor is yours, Grace. Please share your thoughts and feelings regarding the incident and the response from the authorities.
Brad, I was deeply disturbed by what I witnessed. I still am today. It's a clear example of the abuse of power we've been seeing far too often. This incident has shaken me to my core, and I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling this way. It's heartbreaking to think that someone's life was cut short due to the very people who are supposed to protect.
Not quite the welcome back vibe you were hoping for?
No. Kara, would it be too late to leave town for another 2 weeks?
Don't be ridiculous. You'll be fine, Roy. Right. I better head to work. So I'll see you soon.
Love you. Hi. I'll just get a medium cappuccino.
That'll be $7. Thank you.
It's a bit brave of you to walk around in public after all the fuss, Detective. Hey, I'm talking to you. You and your power tripping department better fess up.
Welcome back, Roy.
Thank you, Aaron. So I figured I had missed quite a lot.
I'm just as clueless as you are.
What? How?
The department has been keeping it under wraps internally for a few days now, so we don't even know who was involved.
Power tripping sounds right.
Where'd you hear that?
Some guy while I was ordering coffee. The public's not taking this very well.
I don't blame them. It's not exactly the reputation you'd want to have for a department sworn to protect. Oh yeah, I'd like you to meet Dan Russell. He's a new recruit.
Nice to meet you, Detective.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Dan. Just call me Roy. So whereabouts you from?
Avongate, sir. Been living here all my life.
A fellow Avongate resident. Well, I hope you can forgive the dramatic display that's been happening lately. The department's not usually like this.
Yeah, well, I guess it's gonna be a tough first day, huh?
I wouldn't worry too much about it, guys. Whatever those officers did is not a reflection on you. It's going to be difficult for a little while, but I'm sure we'll get through it fine.
Maybe you're right.
I'm always right, Roy. Anyway, Dan is going to join my patrol today, so I won't hold you up any longer.
All right. I'll see you later.
Was it that bad?
It was fine, I guess.
Doesn't sound very convincing.
I'm sorry. It's a lot to take in right now.
I can imagine. Do you know who the officers were?
You know I can't just share this information outside of work, Kara.
I know. I know. I'm just curious, is all. Well, do you? I'll take it as a no. Oh, but before I forget,
Sorry. I gotta take this real quick. Hello? Sorry, I'm late.
Don't worry about it.
Any observations so far?
We received a call reporting a possible crime at 47 Pillmore Street, and when we arrived, we found the victim lying here in the foyer.
Is that?
Officer Bishop? Yeah. Upon initial inspection, he doesn't appear to have suffered any obvious physical trauma, but you may want to take a look at his eye.
Do you know what could possibly have caused this?
Zero clue. We figured you might have an idea.
Thank you. That'll be all. I'll look into this. And Dan, see if we can get a hold of any security footage from the neighbors that might have captured something relevant.
Will do, Roy.
My condolences, Mrs. Bishop.
Oh, thank you, Detective. That wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it.
I know this is a difficult time for you, but can you meet me at the station once I wrap up investigating the area?
All right.
Great. I'll see you then.
Are you sure Mrs. Bishop has anything to do with her husband's death?
It doesn't hurt to ask a few questions.
No, I know. Sometimes you just get a little too immersed in the whole interrogation thing. That's all. Just go easy on her.
Any update on the security footage?
Negative. No one had set up any security cameras.
Damn. Alright. Thank you for looking into that, Dan. Mrs. Bishop, thank you for your patience. We need your cooperation to understand what might have led to your husband's death.
All right. Let's get this over with. What do you want to know?
First, can you tell me about your relationship with your husband? Were there any ongoing conflicts or recent disagreements?
Ex-husband. Look, Detective, we got divorced because we just couldn't stand each other anymore. We argued, we fought, and that's why we split up.
I understand, Mrs. Bishop. I'm only asking these to explore any potential motive or conflict that may have contributed to the incident. Can you provide any specific details about your arguments and disagreements?
I don't know, Detective. We argued about money or something. Does it really matter? Yes, we had our issues, but I can't imagine anyone wanting to kill him.
It's all part of the investigation, Mrs. Bishop. I'm just doing my job to uncover the truth. You were the one married to the victim, and it's standard procedure to consider those closest to him.
Are you accusing me of murdering my ex-husband?
It's important that we explore all possibilities, Mrs. Bishop.
What the hell?
Cooperate with me, for God's sake. Why were you visiting your ex-husband then?
He had something that was mine, and I wanted it back. I had no motive to kill my ex-husband.
You expect me to believe that you had no motive, despite your troubled past with your ex-husband. Was there jealousy? Resentment? Did you find out about a new romantic interest he had? Explain yourself!
I can't take this anymore.
Some dude was murdered last night. Did you hear?
Of course I've heard about it. Everyone's heard about it.
Shh. He's here.
You know time is money, Detective. Better get your ass to work on that murder.
I understand your concerns, sir. These investigations take time, and we must ensure we have all the facts before taking action.
That was an innocent life you're talking about. Their family is grieving, and all you can say is that it takes time?
Sir, please understand that rushing into action without a thorough investigation...
You guys are all talk and no action. Do you not care at all? You're just another incompetent detective who's going to let the killer walk free.
The last thing I want is for a killer to go unpunished.
I hope you can live with yourself, knowing that you failed to bring justice to their grieving family.
Jesus. Rough morning, Roy?
You could say that.
What happened to you?
I'd rather not talk about it. Let's get some more work done, alright?
So, last night's interrogation got pretty heated.
Yeah, Aaron's right. I do get a little carried away. I'm still a little skeptical of Mrs. Bishop, though. But she could have been telling the truth.
What else did you find last night?
Not much. Other than the unusually empty rooms and a misplaced figurine, the victim didn't show any signs of physical trauma, as already described by Aaron. We may be dealing with a completely new Red Tears case.
Empty rooms. You don't think that maybe our killer went to loot the victim?
Maybe. But why him?
What the hell happened to you, Roy?
It's nothing.
I tried to ask him the same thing.
Someone confronted me about last night's murder case at the coffee shop. I got thrown against a wall. But guys, enough about me. I'm fine.
You sure you don't want me to look for the guy responsible for this?
Please, don't bother. I should get back to work. You two should too.
You know, this is only my second day here, and he already seems pretty stressed out. Is the job usually like this?
Roy's been carrying the entire weight of the case on his shoulders, and it's clearly taking a toll on him. Plus, with all the scrutiny the department is facing, I know how much pressure he's under.
Look, is there anything I can do to help him? I feel horrible.
Don't worry about it, Dan. It's best we leave him for now. I'll handle it.
Having another tough day.
You know me too well.
I know the work is important, but you can't let it consume you. Remember, you're human, not a machine. Even superheroes need a moment to catch their breath.
Superhero, huh?
You know what I mean. You're out there fighting crime, and you're making a difference in people's lives. But even heroes need their rest and support. I know I can't force you to stop doing your job. But at least take care of yourself, Roy.
Thank you, love. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Morning, Roy. You're here early.
Yeah, just couldn't sleep much the past couple of days.
Roy, you've been working on this investigation non-stop. You need to take care of yourself, too.
I know, it's just... I can't shake this feeling that if I don't keep pushing, if I don't obsessively focus on every detail, we might miss something crucial. This case is vital, not just for the victim and their family, but for also the reputation of our department.
You can't do this to yourself. We need you in top shape, both physically and mentally, to be effective in solving this case.
You're right, you're always right. Okay, fine. I'll consider taking a break, even if it's just for a little while.
Actually, why don't you come with me and Dan to visit a local laundromat that got robbed last night? It's unrelated to the Red Tears case, but it might help shift your focus for now.
Alright, let me sort out my desk first.
Give us a shout when you're ready to go.
I don't know. I came to the store to find the place trashed. Just look at the place. They went around the back too and took all the supplies.
Have you had any previous incidents or bad interactions with customers that might provide a lead in this case?
Not to my knowledge, no. I haven't seen any major issues in the past, so this incident was quite unexpected.
Okay. Have you noticed any suspicious or unusual behavior from anyone recently? Maybe someone who seemed overly interested in the layout or security measures of the place?
Nothing stands out to me. I've all sorts of customers come to visit, and everyone usually goes about their business without causing any trouble.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt for a moment, but where did you get your hands on that figurine over there?
Ah, yes. It's one of a kind. Got it for a really good price from someone. I brought it with me this morning to put in my office. Well, there isn't one anymore.
I see.
Say, Detective, how's that investigation of yours coming along?
Nothing I've ever seen before. I'm currently gathering evidence, and I'm trying to piece together what happened. Let's just say it's a work in progress.
Well, I wish you all the best. That poor family. I hope they're okay.
Me too. I think it's time for me to head home and get some rest. When are you two planning to call it a night?
Dan and I are taking another night shift tonight.
Another one?
Don't worry, Roy. We've got it under control. You go home and get some rest.
Well, alright then. Good night, you two.
Good night,
Night, Roy.
Roy.
I hope he realizes that solving this case won't solely regain public approval.
It's a tough time for him. He'll know he doesn't have to carry this burden alone.
What on earth? I'm calling the police to check out that screaming. It is getting ridiculous.
Hold on a second. Calling them won't do us any good. They're useless, and getting involved with them could even get us killed.
You're overreacting. We can't just ignore what's happening outside. I'm calling them.
FLPD! Is anyone home? FLPD! Can anyone hear me?
That's not good. Be prepared for anything, Dan.
Got it. I'm ready. Oh my god. Aaron? You seeing what I'm seeing?
Officer Durham?
Another officer? We need to tell Roy. This could be a new lead in the investigation. We can't let him ignore this.
You're right. I'll get a hold of him. Start inspecting the area.
On it.
Hello?
Hey, Roy. Sorry to wake you. We have another situation. Another Red Tears case has come up.
What? I thought I was supposed to take a step back from the investigation.
I know. I'm really sorry. It's my mistake. I thought I could wait until you were fully rested, but we really need your input on this one.
Alright. I'm on my way. Send me the address. I'll be there as soon as I can.
We are reporting live in Farshall outside the scene of yet another tragic murder. Just moments ago, a body was discovered in this quiet residential area. The police have already arrived and it appears that the detective on the case is rushing to join them. Detective Huxley, can you provide any details about the investigation?
Sorry, I don't have time for questions right now.
The public is concerned about the rising number of these murders. Can you at least comment on whether this could be connected to the previous case?
What do we have here?
Officer Durham. This is the second officer from our department who has been targeted this week.
Another one? This can't be a coincidence.
Well, clearly, the killer has a strong distaste for police officers.
The question is, why? And why Officer Bishop and Durham?
There must be something connecting them. Something that hasn't been covered yet.
I can try to look into this, though I am gonna need a little help navigating through some records.
I can help you with that.
Great. Thank you two. Hey, have you two found any more info on last night's murder? Anything that could shed light on her connection to the previous case?
No, I couldn't find anything that stood out.
Right. We should probably start discussing this somewhere more private from now on. Let's head to one of the meeting rooms. No visible signs of murder weapon, no cut marks, no stab wounds but red tears. The past 2 murders involving our officers shared these attributes.
It's like the killer has found a way to inflict harm without leaving physical evidence behind. That can't be right. Surely.
I wouldn't rule that out just yet, but it's chilling and perplexing, to say the least.
We've also noticed that Officers Bishop and Durham have been absent from the department just days before your return. Strange timing, but we haven't been able to find a connection between them and the recent cases.
Bishop and Durham. If I recall correctly, they were involved in a case before I took my leave. But what could be the link? Also, why the conflicting responses about their absence?
I overheard some officers saying they were taking a month off for personal reasons, but I also heard others say they weren't given any specific details.
Make of that what you will. Either way, the conflicting responses are concerning.
Do you recall hearing a news report about the incident involving the department about a week ago?
You might be onto something, Dan. Mind showing me the video again?
Sorry, I'm awake.
A tragic incident unfolded in downtown Forest Lake earlier today during a protest. 3 officers were involved in the confrontation with demonstrations, resulting in the death of 1 individual. The atmosphere here is tense and emotions are running high as the community demands answers. Witnesses report that the protest began peacefully, with demonstrators voicing concerns over recent incidents of alleged corruption among the city council members. However, as the gathering progressed, tensions escalated and clashes erupted between some protesters and law enforcement.
Three officers.
Bishop and Durham might have been on patrol around that time. I'm almost certain of it.
How does anyone here not know about this?
We never got told any specific details, Roy.
If it really was them, that means there's a 3rd officer who's next on the killer's hit list.
Time's ticking then. If previous cases were to go by, the killer should strike again in 2 days.
No worries, Roy. Dan and I will get right to work.
Can I help you, sir?
Detective Huxley, FLPD. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I have a few questions regarding an ongoing investigation. May I come in and speak with you?
Fine. Come in, but make it quick.
Thank you for allowing me in. I'll try to keep it brief. So, we're looking into the murder that occurred next door, and we're reaching out to the residents in the area to gather any relevant information.
Well, what do you want to know?
Have you noticed any suspicious activities or unusual behavior in the neighborhood over the past few days? Anything that struck you as out of the ordinary?
Oh, I'm not too sure, Detective. All I noticed were the screams from next door, and I called the cops to check that out.
Alright. How about the protest last week? Can you recall the events that occurred?
Oh, well, here's the thing. I was never involved in the protest. Do I agree with their messaging? Yes, I do. Would I risk my life to spread the word? Hell no. But what I do know is my flatmate knew the victim.
May I speak with them?
Bernard, get over here. The detective wants to speak with you.
Why is he here?
He wanted to know more about the protest last week.
Yes. So I've been told you know the victim.
And what has that got to do with me?
All part of the investigation, sir. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so please cooperate with me.
I didn't know her that well, but her name was Darcy Walton. All I know is that her husband and son have been trying to keep it together since the incident. You want me to share their home address, don't you?
Yes, that would help a lot. I've got the information I need to continue the investigation. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Walton. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I wanted to check in on you and see how you've been holding up.
Oh, yes. Please, come on in. Yeah. Apologies for the mess. I haven't had much time to tidy up lately.
No worries, Mr. Walton. I appreciate you allowing me into your home. So, how have you been coping since the incident? I know this is a really sensitive topic to bring up. If you're comfortable sharing, how have you and your son been managing since then?
It's been tough, Detective. Losing my wife was devastating. Trying to adjust to life without her has been a daily struggle. And my son? Not too long after losing her, he's bedridden in the hospital, requiring constant care. And I'm running low on money to pay for it all. It's been overwhelming, to say the least.
I can't even begin to imagine what you've been going through. I'm so sorry. I hope your son's health improves.
Thank you, Detective. He's all I have left.
My apologies. I need to take this.
Do what you gotta do.
Yes, Aaron. What's the situation? I'm having a chat with Mr. Walton.
Get back to the station now. We found something.
I'll be there shortly. I'm afraid I have to cut our conversation short, Mr. Walton. Got called back to the station. Please, if there's anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out.
I understand, Detective. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, I'm here. This could have been a lot quicker over the phone. What did you need to tell me?
We should go to the meeting room for this.
We found the third officer.
Who?
Officer Watts. He was also involved in the protest last week, and I fear that he might be the next target on the killer's hit list.
Good find. Let's not waste any time and get to Officer Watts' home before the killer does. It's crucial we ensure his safety.
Should we call for backup?
We can't risk attracting attention. The more attention we draw, the more dangerous it will become for him.
Going in with just the three of us might not be enough if the killer is armed and dangerous.
You're right, Aaron. But we don't know for certain how much time we'll need. We need to act swiftly and discreetly. Right, let's move out. We can't let the killer claim another victim. Officer Watts, this is Detective Huxley. Are you home? Speak to me, Watts. Who did this to you?
He's here.
The killer must still be here. Keep searching.
Shit! Stay here, Aaron! I'll call for help!
Wake up! Please, Roy, we're not losing you! Please, please wake up!
Hey, champ. How are you feeling?
Tired. I want to go home.
You've been through so much, and I need you to know that I'm proud of how strong you've been. I'm trying my best to get us through this. Medical bills have been really tough, but I promise I'll find a way to get you the treatment. Tommy!
Oh, thank God you're awake. I was so worried. I thought I was going to lose you.
I'm here, Kara. I'm not going anywhere. How did I get here? Aaron, Dan, thank you so much.
We got your back, Roy. Good morning, Detective Huxley. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright, I think.
Well, consider yourself lucky, Detective. You came out of that situation with only a minor head injury. The red tears are a new one for me, though. Regardless, the impact could have been much worse. It's great to see you all here with him this morning. So, I've reviewed your latest scans, and everything looks promising. You should be able to leave the hospital today. Though I need you to take your prescribed medication for a speedy recovery.
Will do. Thank you.
No worries, Detective. I understand your job is important to you, but remember, your health comes first.
I'll keep that in mind. Actually, before I'm discharged, may I have a moment to speak to my officers? There are some things we need to discuss about the case.
Of course, I will wait outside. Please take your time, but don't exert yourself too much.
See you soon. Love you.
Did you two catch the killer while I was down?
No, Roy. They managed to slip away before we could apprehend them.
I saw him. It was Mr. Walton.
Mr. Walton? Are you sure, Roy?
I'm certain. It was him. But there was something off about him. Something different. Like he possessed some unexplainable power.
What do you mean?
It's hard to put into words. It's like he could kill with his hands held up. I don't know. He was able to do things that shouldn't be possible. And I have a feeling he's become more fatigued the more he uses his powers. He could still be dangerous.
So what do we do now? If he is indeed the killer, then we can't just approach him like any ordinary suspect.
If he's fatigued, we might actually have a chance against him. We need to fight force with force. Roy, are you sure you don't want to call in reinforcements?
Yes. Bringing in reinforcements will attract unwanted attention. We can't afford to let Mr. Walton slip away again. Whatever this is, it was here when I came to visit. Do you two know what it could be?
No, I haven't got a clue. Could this be what's giving Mr. Walton his abilities?
You'd all better stay far away from my house if you know what's good for you.
Mr. Walton, show yourself.
Step away from the table. You officers took everything from me. My wife is dead because of your incompetence. And now my son is gone too. I had to sell your officer's belongings just to try and save him, but it was all for nothing. Now, it's time for you all to pay for what you've done!
Drop the gun, Mr. Walton. Drop it!
He's getting away! Go after him! Don't worry about us!
Get away from me!
Mr. Walton, you're under arrest for the heinous crimes you committed and the immeasurable damage you've caused. You'll answer for every innocent life you've taken. Put your hands behind your back, now!
No!
Alright, I'm heading off now.
Roy, wait! Be safe out there. And I mean it.
I promise. I'll be more careful.
I'll see you after work. Good luck today.
Hey, I'll have a medium cappuccino.
$7. Thank you.
How are you feeling? Are you ready for the interview?
Honestly, very nervous. You know I hate interviews.
I'm sure you will do great, Roy. The press is ready for you now, so you should get going.
Okay, here we go.
Good luck, Roy.
Any questions?
If I ever had a chance to go back, 20/20 hindsight, you know that I wouldn't make all the same mistakes. I guess sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. I'll never close my eyes, I'll stay alive. And I'd rather die than be alive. I hope you can take the pain, cause I was born through the flag. Through the flag. Flag. I was born through the flag. If I ever had a chance to go back, 20/20 hindsight, you know that I wouldn't make all the same mistakes. I guess sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. I'll never close my eyes, I'll stay alive. And I'd rather die than be alive. I hope you can take the pain, cause I was born through the flag.